Hey all, welcome to the Mega Man The Wily Wars playthrough. I'm the Flameclaw, and I'm on my own this time, and that's because I've probably overkilled the others' interest in Mega Man at this point, so I'm going back through this on my own. Mega Man The Wily Wars is a Mega Drive update of Mega Man 1, 2 and 3. And there are some new bits towards the end, but I haven't got around to playing them myself yet. So for now, I'm just going to be going over the first games. I think overall, I'm a little bit mixed on this particular port. Like, there's some elements of it I like I like the updated visuals for what they are. The NES visuals kind of stick better to me in general, but I do kind of appreciate the new look this game has. The music, I'm a little bit hit or miss with. There's some songs I prefer on the NES, there's some songs I prefer here. The Mega Drive twang is the thing that a lot of people kind of don't like. I kind of like it to a degree. Given that I'm obviously emulating this game, I've got to put my own controller set up in. And if you remember when we first did Mega Man 1, it had no title music. Now, for some reason, it just plays the Mega Man 3 intro music, so I'll roll with that, I guess. Now, Bomb Man, his stage is probably one of the less interesting stages from Mega Man 1, which is kind of a good reason to get out of the way first, really, outside of the fact that he's the easiest one to beat in itself. This stage, it does definitely benefit from having the extra visual quality, because them giant things in the background, I still can't make out what they are, but I had no clue like where I was in the original one, whereas at least this kind of seemed like maybe some mine like location. I'm not really sure. But yeah, something they do in this game is the little energy pellets and weapon pickups and whatnot, is that they still retain their Mega Man 1 designs, yet when you go on to the Mega Man 2 sections of this game, it gives them their new design, so like it's just being extra faithful for the sake of being extra faithful. And yeah, the disappearing enemies are still here, so you know, you can still like just jump over them or like boot them off screen and they'll disappear themselves. But that also means that they still respawn as soon as you go a few foot to the right as well, so use that to your advantage if you can. Them things look even more like bullet bills in this port. Like they've got the teeth and everything. At least I think bullet bills have teeth. Do they have teeth? I can't even remember at this point. The spike glitch from Mega Man 1 is no more, so that means that you do get an invincibility frame if you've hit like an enemy and then fall into spikes. So you have an extra couple of seconds to save yourself, at least if you do happen to stumble into the spikes. Them enemies are still annoying as hell. And this playthrough, I will mention, in the Mega Man 1 run, it won't be a completely no-death run. I will die like a few times in the later levels. But I'm trying to make my gameplay a little bit more competent than it was the first time around, because I wasted so much time in our first run of this game, didn't I? Yeah, I'm on my own doing this because I thought I'd have a shot at doing something different to kind of fill the space while we're waiting for more Boom. And I'm also procrastinating Mega Man 7, which is why I'm covering this game again, because I don't really care for 7 that much. But now we're seeing one of the biggest curses of this run, well, this game, this port. There is a lot of slowdown. Because for the most part during the actual levels outside of specific sections, it can maintain the consistent 60, but then when you get into a boss, for some reason it just slows to a halt, and I am not sure why that actually is. I can't think of a practical reason, especially like given the NES games, for the at least probably 95% of the game ran smooth as hell, but I don't know. I still haven't worked out what the point of these like scores are, so I'm sorry I don't have any information for you there. This game does have a save feature, which is really useful. Granted, there was a password system in Mega Man 1, but I've never really liked the concept of password systems. The only basis that it's like you're having to remember things outside of the game, And granted, that might well be because of like my age. I'm a little bit younger than a lot of people who grew up with these games. So like, to me, I'm going backwards as opposed to just taking what's there. This section can still die in a fire. This took me many takes to get right. But see guys, I learned how to edit. I didn't game over on screen this time. Progress, I guess, since... One thing I've noticed with our runs on this channel is since like around, say, mid last year, we haven't sucked quite as much in the gameplay department. I've learnt how to edit out fuck-ups to a degree, but yeah. Hi Hammer Brothers. You're annoying in Mario. You're not quite as annoying here, but still fairly annoying. I think there was a lot of Super Mario Bros. Inspiration in this particular iteration of Mega Man, actually. If you notice, when Mega Man lands, he has a little bit of a slide like Mario does, and I suppose that's probably coming down to the fact that Mario was the idea of a huge platformer at the time, so it made sense to try to emulate his games to a degree. And yeah, you see in these hallways here, there's enemies. This, as far as I know, is the only main series Mega Man game to do this. All the other games, it's like literally just a tiny little run that acts as a checkpoint and nothing more. But yeah, we're gonna see once more just how pathetic Gutsman is. Because when I say Gutsman's pathetic, look, he jumps onto the bomb you are throwing at him. Like, come on, dude, you can do better. I'm sure you can do better. And why are you so weak when you have like the whole hard hat and all that shit? These robots, I believe these were the robots that Light and Wily were working on together. After this game, like in Mega Man 2, they just become Wily's robots that you're fighting against. But for this one, this is kind of the establishing the scene, and I think this game is set shortly after Wily goes rogue. Next up is Cutman. This guy, he's probably one of the most recognisable robots from Mega Man 1, but it feels weird to me that when the Megas did their album on Mega Man 1 with, I believe the other band were called Entertainment System, like they didn't cover Cutman at all, and like his theme as well, it's quite a recognisable theme, which seems weird, so not sure what was happening there. Yep, I'm gonna be using items a little bit more than I did in the original NES run, because that's something I kind of, when I first started playing Mega Man, I never really used to do that. Like, I used to always default back to Mega Buster regardless of the situation, like except in 2 where you got Metal Blades obviously. But now I do try to be a little bit more creative with the items when I get them. These enemies are kind of annoying. I don't like enemies in general that have shields and have like wait periods before you can hit them. Like, they're not difficult to take out, but like I really wish they didn't slow down the pace of the game as much. Because if there's one thing I really dislike in games, it's just sort of standing around doing not much. It's another reason like why I don't like enemies that take a lot of hits before you kill them. Because like, I just want to fight the guy then move on with the game, which is... it just doesn't happen sometimes. Gutsman's weapon in this game is pretty useful in certain parts. Like there's certain parts where they deliberately give you boxes you can throw at stuff. Like that little green like pile of bricks over on the right, you can pick that up and throw it if you wanted to, which can get rid of these like Sue enemies pretty quickly if you want to do that for whatever reason. Or you can just sit on the ladder and get hit like I do, one of the two. I'm not very good at video games. Something that Joe pointed out in I think the Mega Man 5 playthrough, where Mega Man spends a lot of his time climbing ladders, and like I never really clocked onto that, but it's kind of a thing that happens with the vertical or like that type of level design. You find out you're climbing ladders a lot of the time, and at least Mega Man can climb ladders pretty quickly in this game. There's one of the games I think I remember him going quite slow in and me getting irritated, but there's also a lot of Mega Man games that I haven't spent much time with, so I can't really recall off the top of my head. We're getting close to our final boss fight of this part, which will be Cutman, and he is stupidly easy. It's not often I just casually walk through the door normally. I'm normally like jumping through it, but I thought I'd be a bit like normal this time. This guy, he is just 2 hits, so if you manage to land your hit with both of these blocks like I did, he's toast. Rest in peace, Cutman. It's not like I needed HM01 anyway. And that kind of concludes the first part of Mega Man 1 under the Wily Wars. I'll see you next time where we'll be fighting the remaining 3 Robot Masters. See you then.